everybody. Ahmed again. Wow. Well, the World Cup is over. Thanks God. My goodness. Uh, 4 or 5 weeks of intensive display of global event. This is one of the biggest global event, not just sporting event. The whole world, billions, millions of people were watching the same thing, and every 4 years, teams from all over the world comes to show their showcases their skill and style and culture, football. One of the we call it soccer here, one of the few sports that really reflects the personality, identity, and the culture of the country they represent. The kind of the style of the Brazilian samba, and there is a history over there. I mean, when you look at why the Brazilian, were great on dribbling and cunning and avoiding contacts, and there was a history for that. There was, when the blacks, I mean, talking about early on when soccer started in Scotland, England, and moved to South America. There was a very racist slavery and all of that, and black players were not supposed to touch white player. So they developed this skill to avoid touching a white player. Have to be very skillful. Some people got punished and kicked and for touching white players. So they developed this samba and creative Brazilian style, and then the German machine style, and the Argentinians uh, tactic and flamboyant of the French kind of. And the flamboyant, it's different than flamboyant Brazilian samba football. And then you get the obnoxious eccentric French style, and you get the African creative physical style, and the Arab suicidal play style. They just play like it is a war, very emotional, and they know they are fighting a battle they're gonna lose. So all this wonderful kind of uh, cocktails of different style, different culture, different custom, and fans come with their sign, with their passion, but this word. The 2026 World Cup in England, I mean, it was played in America and Canada and Mexico, was the worst cup I've ever seen. It was fraught of politics and money and greed and corruption and all kind of violent and VAR and violation and referees making, they have to check with some official before they make the big, decisions. So VAR is killing the game. Water break is killing Americanizing the game is killing the game. How can you Americanize a game from a country that don't even call it football? So money is everything, and this Infantino guy is just the most corrupt human being he can come across. The only thing good about 2026 World Cup that the good people won, football won at the end when you can see the final game. and the people who try to resort to defense and technical and fouls and physicality, all these teams are lost. And the problem, I think, was why people lost. I think when you look at people did not play their game. They didn't play their natural game. They want to change the DNA. The German machine tried to play like a Brazil possession passing. That didn't work out. And the England team tried to play like Argentina. Did not work out. The kick and run style of the England and running, and they try to have possession. It's not there. It's not there. And those teams that they try to play tactical and technical, and it's all programmed by coaching and science, and all this is same school, the same school. Now Brazil, now they try to play like the British, and that's why football in Brazil is dying, and a bit more over 25 years now they haven't done anything. They play lousy games because instead of playing the Brazilian game and let the people develop their skill in the streets and a smaller club, now they have clinics, and it's like a farm. It's a new form of slavery where big money and big recruiting, they establish clinics, and they farm Brazilian player to play in Europe, to play in England. So you have physicality, and you have speed, and you have all this cater player. You need a center back that's strong and fast and header. So you go and develop that skill in Brazil. So and then you have a Brazilian player that is not really playing Brazilians, and Brazilian players didn't even know for their defense. Now you have the best defense Brazilian, the best goalie Brazil. It's unheard of. It's whole idea of how the pundits and how the analysts and media kind of cover all this, the final of the World Cup. You're talking about an ethnocentric approach, an ethnocentric centric coverage. When people start talking about how the Argentina player violence and disgrace and this is really savagery and you can tell this British or England, the English pundits and media haven't really covered from losing to Argentina in '86. It was a hand of God shit. They've been talking about it, which in the same game, Maradona scored the best ever goal, the second goal. That's what we should do. This is the foot of the left foot of God. This is really what's all about. And then they lost again, and they just they just since then they still you know out of their kind of bearing. They just have bandits and headlines and this is really what's all about when you kind of when you compare the final between Argentina and Spain, 2026, it is to the final between Spain and Netherlands. And Netherlands was the most violent, and they didn't play and use kicking, and you can take that Nigel de Jong, the career-ending tackle and posted to Xabi Alonso. This is an amazing. Nobody talked about how savage that play is, and not talking about the disgraceful play. Everybody's talking about how the Netherlands didn't play their own game, the total game, the Cruyff philosophy, and total soccer and total whatever the shit is. No, yeah, they analyze it by nobody. This language of savagery and thuggery and all this language that the media accused Argentinian players and fans and all of that violence and this is really reserved to the people of the South and people, non-white people in the African player violence. They get more red cards and violation foul than the average because that's how the referee is. And he feels, because it's all subjective. Most of fouls and most of calls subjective. And then when you have big African player, he's violent. It's his fault. And so violence, you're talking about violence. The most violent things in the sport now, especially in 2026, it is chopping the game to four quarters with this water break shit. So they have advertisement. The most violent thing happened to the sport, no, football is VAR. Kind of reviewing everything, and I think VAR should stand for violence against reasons. And this is really what is violence is. And getting the money and greed that corporate, you pay $10,000 for a ticket, that is violence. And corruption and changing rules as we go along and the cover your mouth, your red card. This is all bullshit. This is the most racist places is the game itself. You do see this how the sport playing in Europe, and no to racism signs everywhere in the game. And racism is a structural racism, and you don't see a black British referee or owner or whatever that working on bars and those are the violence things that happen to the game. So and the last game really it's just what do you expect? What do you expect of what do you want the Argentinian to do? They're playing against the best team, the best coherent style. They've been doing it for years, for 25 years. They won Europe, they won Nation Cup, they win under 18 and under 20. They won everything. So what do you expect him to do? They resort to this style, defense and physicality. Isn't that what the other team done against Spain? Isn't that how the game is played in England? The kick and run and physicality, and people, the pundits and analysts are proud of how the Premier League is physical. Oh, this is the Premier League. You can't handle the Premier League. The physicality, the speed. So when Argentina is doing it now, it's thuggery and disgrace, and you are disgraced. This is ethnocentric attitude toward the people from the south, and I mean this is a disgrace. This is football is an area where really people from all over the world have a shot at it. They play a game, a simple game, uh, you know in the same place with the colonists, with the people, wealthy nation, in a game, same rules, same things apply to everybody. And now they want to take it away. They want to take it away with imposing so many rules and bars and kind of eliminate the edge that the South, Latin Americans players and Africans and Arab players, Africans and people who come in and they have the skill, the natural instinct and passion to the game. Now they want to take all of this, so it becomes like a video game, controlled and run by technology and statistic and all this shit. But anyway, this is all the rant. But before I go, and I think that halftime was the worst things in the football at the halftime show, and I don't know what it was. I didn't understand it. I don't know who all those people are, and I don't know why they're jumping nonsense. This is a violent imagery that kind of assaulted my nervous system, and this Madonna is 80 or 90 years old coming and jumping, and I don't need to see that. And I think she better off to just stop there and at the end the song with everybody, don't cry for me, Argentina. Argentina that produced the best players in the world, Maradona and Messi. They needed give him a slack, give him some things, and move on, move on. And so at the end, don't cry for me, Argentina. That's all the rant I have, and we'll see you next rant. Please subscribe, share, become a member. It's a price of a cup of coffee a month. That help us and show our algorithm that people are watching and interested. And so please do, and we'll see you next rant.
What the fuck's that? What the fuck?